What's going on, guys? Seth here from Team Union Seth, back as your coach of the Philadelphia Fearows for our Week 4 matchup in the IPL. So this week we are going up against Zeet Shatter, and he does have a pretty good team. We also picked up Alolan Marowak. So, as you guys know, every week in this league we pick up a new Mon to add to the team, as long as it fits within our point constraints. So we picked up Alolan Marowak. I looked at this matchup, and I saw a Mega Manectric, and I'm like, alright, well, my team doesn't handle Mega Manectric very well, so how can we remedy that? So, Alolan Marowak is like a perfect check to Mega Manectric, and it's also good for some things on his team, like even potentially the Gardevoir. It's good for the Magneton, and can even potentially help with the Darmanitan and the Chestnut. So I figured it would be a pretty cool idea. It also gives me another Rocker, and it gives me a Fire type, which is really, really nice too. So, as you guys know, for the most part, my team, I have Mega Scizor, Zygarde 50%, Milotic, Lycanroc Dust, Slurpuff, Electrode, Greninja, Necrozma, and the Alolan Marowak. As my opponent has the Mega Manectric, Landorus Therian form, Suicune, Gardevoir, Magneton, Archeops, Haxorus, Darmanitan, and Chestnut. So, the three Mons he's picked up, Haxorus, Darmanitan, and Chestnut, is scary. It's so unbelievably scary. And then throw that in with like Manectric and Landorus, his team is very, very threatening. So, he's got a lot of physical threats. The Haxorus can obviously set up, Darmanitan can be scarfed or even potentially banded. Landorus can be scarfed, it can be defensive, it can do a ton of different things. Manectric is pretty straightforward, it's super fast. Most likely going to be running like Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Overheat, or Flamethrower, and Hidden Power Ice for that Zygarde. And honestly, that has pretty good coverage for my team. I have nothing that really resists all of those except for the Alolan Marowak. So, really glad I picked that up. I think that was a really good addition to the team in general, as well as for this week. So let's get into the team a little bit. First up, we have Satan, our Milotic, this week with the Flame Orb and Marvel Scale, rocking Scald, Toxic, Haze, and Recover. So we have 248 in HP, 252 in defense, and 8 in special defense with the Bold Nature. This thing is physically defensive for the Darmanitan and for the Haxorus. This is our main check for those. Once I get that Marvel Scale up, we're taking hits really, really, really well, and we can fire back some nice attacks. Scald can potentially get a burn on the Haxorus. It also does a ton of damage to the Darmanitan. But this thing is also here to help handle Suicune if it sets up. So we have Haze in case the Haxorus wants to set up. We also have Haze in case the Suicune wants to set up with Calm Minds or something like that. The Flame Orb prevents us from being toxic by that Suicune, which is really, really nice. Obviously, we still have to worry about substitutes, but I believe, I'm actually going to look this up right now. I believe Haze goes through substitute. I'm going to double check that right now. Let's see. Haze go through substitute. So yeah, so basically we're here to sit on the field, take physical hits, recover up, stay healthy, toxic things, wear them down. I wouldn't exactly call it stally, but, you know, it is there a little bit, so. Let's see. Come on. I don't know what, my computer has been like super slow lately. I should probably reboot it more. That would probably help, but it's a few years old, so it's bound to be a little slow. Anyway, let's move on real quick, and I'll look this up later. Anyway, next up we have Swift, our Greninja. Swift, our Greninja, our shiny Greninja, with the Choice Scarf and Torrent, with U-Turn, Scald, Ice Beam, and Grass Knot, 80 in HP, 252 in Special Attack, 4 in Special Defense, and 172 in Speed, with the Mild Nature. Now, this set's really cool. It outspeeds a Mega Manectric, a +1 Haxorus, or a Scarf Darmanitan, with the Choice Scarf, obviously. So, so we make sure we're outspeeding all of those threats. And I can U-Turn around on his team. I can Scald things like the Darmanitan or the Archeops. I can Ice Beam the Haxorus or the Landorus. I can Grass Knot the Suicune. So we have good coverage for his team. Max Special Attack, just fire off hits as strong as we can. And then we just have HP and Special Defense investment, just have a little bit of bulk, potentially take some hits a little bit better. So I'm really excited about this thing. I'm definitely concerned about him getting to +1 with Haxorus or running Scarf on Darmanitan. so I wanted to make sure I had to check some sort of speed control for that. So that is why our Greninja is here. Next up, we have Sneaky, our Alolan Marowak, running the Shuka Berry with Lightning Rod, Stealth Rock, Earth Power, Ice Beam, and Shadow Ball. So we have 248 in HP, 28 in defense, and 232 in special attack with the Modest Nature. This set is awesome. So I wanted to be able to kill the Landers. Obviously, this thing is our main check for the Manectric. It does that perfectly fine, especially with the Lightning Rod into Earth Power. It's insane. And this way, with running a special set, we can actually take advantage of the Lightning Rod. If I get that Lightning Rod boost, this thing does so much damage to his team. It absolutely destroys his team. It's insane. The special attack investment allows us to kill a Landorus Therian. Kill Landorus Therian after rocks damage. And like I said, this is our main check to the Manectric. We have Earth Power for the Manectric, and just for general stab, as well as for the Darmanitan, if we want to do that. Ice Beam, obviously for the Landers, it also can be there for the Archeops, the Haxorus, or the Chestnut. And then Shadow Ball is mainly just there for the Gardevoir. And again, just general stab if we need it. So I'm really excited about this set. I'm really, really hyped to see what it's going to do. It does a lot of it does a lot of work to his team in general. It does a lot of work to his team. So if I can keep this thing here, keep it strong, Marowak's going to put in a lot of work. Next up, we have Reflect Bounder, our Necrozma, with the Leftovers and Prism Armor, with Reflect, Moonlight, Calm Mind, and Stored Power. So we have 248 in HP, 160 in Special Defense, and 100 in Speed, with a Bold Nature. The Speed allows us to outspeed a no-speed Landorus Therian. So if he's running a defensive Lando with no speed, we outspeed that. This thing is here just to set up and sweep. I needed something that can help me counter the Haxorus, especially if it gets to +1. And this thing can take a hit, and it can fire off, or it can get off a Reflect, which can potentially allow me to get in with some of my other threats, like the Milotic or even the Marowak. Take a hit and fire back and kill that thing. So it's here to get up that Reflect, but it's also here to potentially set up. Calm Mind, Stored Power is really, really nice for his team. He does not have a Dark type, and its only resistances to Psychic are the Magneton and the Gardevoir. So really looking forward to seeing what this thing can do. I'm thinking about swapping out Stored Power for Photon Geyser just so I have something that can hit Mons in general. I'm going to run a few more calcs for that real quick before I play. So I might end up swapping that out, but for now this is what we got. Next up, we have Me First Ball, the shiny Electrode with the Shuka Berry and Static. We have Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, HP Ice, and Thunder Wave. 40 in HP, 4 in Defense, 252 in Special Attack, 212 in Speed with the Timid Nature. The Speed allows us to outspeed Mega Manectric, Scarf Gardevoir, or an Adamant Scarf Landorus. We're not able to outspeed Jolly Scarf Landorus or Scarf Darmanitan or +1 Haxorus. So this is the best we got. I figured this would be decent enough. The Shuka Berry allows us to live a max attack Adamant Life Orb Earthquake from the Haxorus, as well as a max attack Adamant Earthquake from the Darmanitan. And we kill the Darmanitan with Thunderbolt after the rocks. Thunder Wave is there in case I want to T-Wave the Haxorus. Now, if it does have the Lumberry, it's concerning, but it's also not concerning. Obviously, he's not going to be affected by the Thunder Wave. That also tells us he's not Life Orb, which is really, really nice. And if he's not Life Orb and he has that Lumberry and he gets rid of the paralysis like that, we can come in and we can Toxic with our Milotic. So it's kind of a win-win. We can see what item he is. If he's Life Orb, he's going to get paralyzed. If he's not Life Orb, it's a lot less scary for us. So last but not least, we have Disneck, our Zygarde 50% with the Leftovers and Aura Break. This week we have Substitute Coil, 1000 Waves, and Extreme Speed. So really cool set, 248 in HP, 112 in Defense, 148 in Speed with the Impish Nature. The Speed allows us to outspeed a max speed Magneton, because that thing can potentially be scary with a Flash Cannon or an HP Ice. I'd imagine he's probably going to want to run HP Fire instead of HP Ice for the Scizor. I can imagine he's pretty worried about that Scizor. It doesn't do a ton to his team, but even just like a +2 Bullet Punch it can be scary for his team. So I'm pretty sure he's going to bring Magneton as his main check for that. It's also another reason Marowak is here to help check that Magneton. But either way, a Jolly Landorus Therian doesn't break a sub with Earthquake once we get to +1, and Darmanitan doesn't break the sub once we get to +1 either. So Coil is going to be really, really nice. Getting those substitutes up is going to be nice. 1000 Waves locks in the opponent. So if I can 1000 waves the Landorus, if he doesn't have HP Ice on his Landorus and I can 1000 waves that, I can trap it in, I can substitute up, I can coil, it doesn't break my subs. Once I get the +1, keep coiling, get to the +3, 4, 5, or even 6, and just proceed to destroy his team with 1000 waves and extreme speed. Now, this thing is going to be able to hit the flying types. 1000 waves does hit flying types, but it does not ground them. But that doesn't really matter. We can just coil and extreme speed up, or even just 1000 waves. So I'm really excited for this set. I'm really excited to see what it's going to do. Let me check in on that haze real quick, so I don't want to go into the match and have to haze and be like, oh, it's not going to go through sub, and then not break the sub, and that could be an issue. If that Suicune gets up Calm Minds, it's kind of an issue anyway, just for my team in general, but I do have my Electrode. I can Calm Mind right up along it with my Necrozma. That might actually be the play, is going into Necrozma and Calm Minding right up alongside it. Let me see. So I'm not gonna bore you guys with my computer being slow. I will figure it out, and then I will potentially make changes accordingly. I might not. I'll probably leave it the same. I'll just think more in terms of going into Necrozma on the Suicune instead of the Milotic, which is good because Milotic's more there for the physical threats anyway. But this video's been long enough. I will let you guys go. Don't forget to leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the team. If there's anything you thought I could have brought or not brought, whatever you guys think there. But other than that, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.